To create our custom GPT, we click on Explore GPTs, and then in the top right-hand side, we have the option to create. And we're now in a screen on the left-hand side has the option to create or configure, and on the right-hand side has a preview. So if we click on create, it says here, I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like so it tells you what you would do. So what would you like to make? I want to create a custom GPT that knows what car I have and how I need to look after it so that I can ask any questions about wear and tear or similar. And as you type something, it says updating GPT. So it's building the rules for your custom GPT as you go along. So first of all, it's saying, let's give this GPT a name. How about Car Care Companion? Does that sound good to you? Well, yes, it does. So I'm going to say yes. So as we answer the questions here, you'll see on the right-hand side here, it updates. Great. Now let's create a profile picture for your Car Care Companion. I'll generate one and you can let me know if you'd like any changes. So with the built-in image generation tool, it's creating an image. Now, I'm not too precious about this, and actually, as it happens, my car is white, so it looks quite like it. So here's the profile picture. Do you like it? So I'm going to say yes again. So now it's saying, let's refine how your car care companion will assist you. What should be emphasized or avoided when giving you advice about your car? So this is where we can get really specific. So I'm going to say, I want to upload my car user manual and be able to ask questions like, for example, when the message comes up that I need to add engine oil, what type should I buy? Got it. I'll incorporate the ability to reference your car's user manual and answer questions based on it. Feel free to upload your car manual and I'll integrate that information. And it's saying, would you prefer to get straight to the point advice or would you like more detailed explanation? So that's really interesting. As it happens, I'm not that interested in learning exactly how cars work. So personally, I'm going to ask for it to be kept simple. But if you were somebody who wants to learn as you go along, then you could actually have that additional information and use it as a learning tool as well. So first of all, I'm going to attach the file, clicking on the paperclip, clicking upload from computer and choosing my car manual PDF. It's going to upload that. And then I'm also going to answer the question here about how I want the information. I'd like answers to be helpful, succinct, and using plain English wherever possible. So it's saying, I'll configure the companion to reference your car's manual for personalised answers. Now you'll get practical plain English advice. I'll integrate the manual and make the responses succinct and to the point. Would you like me to include any other features or focus areas? For example, reminders for scheduled maintenance. That could be really helpful. So let's say, yes, maintenance reminders would be helpful. Let's see how it deals with that. And you can see here it's updating the instructions in the background. And it says now, feel free to test it out. Do you have any other features or refinements you'd like to add? So at this point, what you can do on the right-hand side here, before we finish saving this down, is we can test it out. So it's come up with some suggested starter questions. What kind of oil should I use for my car? What do I need to service my car? Why is my engine warning light on? And what is the best tire pressure for my vehicle? So they all seem like good questions, and especially as I do have a genuine question here, which is what type of oil do I need to use? So I'm going to click on that and see what happens. And you saw it flash up quickly, searching my knowledge. So we know that it's using the attached car manual for my specific car. And there we go. So straight away, it's come back with my car is a petrol car, and it's only giving me one response here as the preferred oil. And from memory, last time I had a look in the book, it wasn't as clear as this. So you can see there's lots of different references here of different types of engines, which I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know that it's petrol. So it's saying, basically, it's answering my question, which is really helpful. Last time I looked at the user guide, I didn't have that clarity and I had to go and search for the information. So that's looking like it does what I need. So I think that we can say that that's all good. So do you have any other features? No, that looks great. Thank you. And it's saying, you're welcome, I'm glad you're happy. If ever you need any updates, feel free to reach out. So what you can do before we click create in the top right here, we can just flick over from this helpful, very ChatGPT focused conversation that helps us create this into the back end. If we click this tab here that says configure, what you can see is from that conversation, it's populated some fields here that we can actually amend directly if we want to. So car care companion description. If you want to add to any of these things, you can by just clicking into them. The instructions here, it says we specialize in offering personalized car maintenance. You'll notice actually that it is actually using, for example, American English here with the Zs. So obviously, if I want to be really polished in the way I do it, I could change those. But mostly it's filled in what I need. And the conversation starters here, again, if there's something that you more frequently ask, you could change it to be that if it's more helpful to you. And knowledge, it's updated with that PDF document we uploaded. And if there are any other helpful reference guides, maybe a Haynes manual, or if there's a fan-made guide to how to get the most out of your Nissan Qashqai, anything that's relevant, you can upload into that. Capabilities, it still has the ability to access the web if needed, and it has the ability to create any images if that comes up in the further conversation. And actions here, which we won't go into right now, but this is a way that you can actually really level up your custom GPT game, because you can have that output into something else. So you can have automations, which is really helpful. And at the very bottom here, additional settings, which is hidden by default. You can use that conversation data in your GPT to improve our models or not, as per your own preferences and tolerances for privacy and security. I'm going to leave it on because this is publicly available information and I'm just asking questions about my car. And I think it's helpful for the model to learn how somebody like me, who isn't very car savvy, asks these questions, and therefore it will learn and make the model better for everyone. So now I'm going to click create in the top right. And we have the options here to share GPT. So I can create things that are specific and personal that I only want to be able to see myself. If there's something I'm creating I think might be helpful to people that I know, family and friends, then I can share that link with people who are interested. And as I feel more confident, if I think this is going to be helpful to other Nissan Qashqai owners out there, and I've hit upon some really good instructions, I could actually make that available in the GPT store. And anybody would be able to search and find that and use the tool. But that is just using the instructions that you've uploaded. It's not them accessing your personal data that's stored in your own conversation history. And it's got the detail there about who I am. From my settings, I've got a builder profile because I've created a few GPTs now. I'm going to click save. And it'll just take a few moments to save that. And what it calls publishing, even if we're not sharing it beyond our own use or for people that we know. So there is a link there. I can save this and share this to other people. And we have the option to view on new GPT. And what you'll notice is they start to stack up on the left-hand side here underneath the top level Chat GPT. If you visited other GPTs or created your own, they will appear in this sidebar. And you have the option, if it's something that you use a lot, to pin it or to hide it from the sidebar. And now we are in the car care companion screen. Just like we saw before, we can ask questions. So I could say, when do I need to service my car? And it's accessed the information and it's thinking about it. And it's coming back with an answer here. Not especially helpful, but it has answered my question. So that's the creating a new GPT. And you can go back to the beginning screen again for that particular GPT by clicking on it in the left-hand side and clicking New Chat. That wasn't working there. There we go. And if you want to amend that in any way, so if you want to make any changes, you can always go back into Explore GPTs and My GPTs, and then you have a list of all the ones that you've created, and it tells you at a glance whether they're personal to you or anyone with a link or everyone. You have the option to edit it and you have the option to delete it. But that's walking you through creating your first custom GPT.